Hey everyone, it's your friend Thinknoodles, and welcome to Ask Think episode number 100. Yes, that's right, episode 100. 100 of these. And seeing as I probably put about 50 questions in each episode, well, obviously this one's gonna have more, but 50 questions in each episode on average, 100 episodes. That means I've answered 5,000 of your questions, guys. 5,000! Unbelievable. So you guys are probably wondering how many likes were on last week's video, and it went crazy with 2,063 likes. Way to go, guys. And Kim Say got the closest, and it was almost 100 away with 1,984 likes. Let's see if we can get this one, episode 100, over 2,000 likes again, because guys, 5,000 total questions and 100 episodes of Ask Think. I think that deserves at least 2,000 likes. Now, before I get to the questions, don't forget to leave your comment below so I can have something to answer next week. Remember, only one question per comment, but you can leave as many comments as you like. Also, if the comments on this Ask Think are closed, go to the most recent Ask Think and ask your question there. Now on to the questions, and the first one is from DonutsDoggy19, and this one I've been saving for about a month. And it says, think, at the end of every video, you should ask a question for us to answer. Then pick like 5 answers to put it after you ask it for the next week. For example, and now for the question for the Noodlers, what is your favorite series on my channel? Last week's question was whatever it was, and here are a few answers. And guys, the reason I waited about a month is because I wanted to make this the new thing with Ask Think, starting with this episode. So, the question for the Noodlers is, out of all the animals in the world, what is your favorite animal and why? And of course, last week's question was non-existent, so there are no answers. LT Lunago says, hey Think, how tall are you? I'm only 5'9" and I feel extremely short compared to my friends who are around 6 foot. Well, first of all, you're making me feel short too because I'm only 5'9" as well. I guess you just need to get some shorter friends? JS Gaming says, Think, here's a good question. What do you use to record and edit in your Mac? I have a Mac and I can't seem to find any good programs. And I know I've answered this a few times before, but I'm going to do a few of these on this Ask Think, sort of a refresher to some of the most common questions. This is one of them, and I use ScreenFlow for Mac. I find that it's just the best program for me. Katrina Angus says, Think, in Ask Think, you answer some questions about your life. Why didn't you include some in your Draw My Life? Well, first of all, if you haven't seen my Draw My Life video, link is in the description and you can check that out. But yeah, I mean, I do answer a lot of questions about my life, but the Draw My Life, I kind of wanted to tell a story, and a very broad general story about how I grew up and how I got to where I am today. And a lot of the questions on Ask Think are really, really detail oriented and wouldn't fit well into the theme of the Draw My Life. NBC Plays MC says, oh, have you ever gotten a tetanus booster? I just got one the other day. Ow! Yeah, I have. I think as an adult, I have to get it every 10 years, which actually, Anyway, not looking forward to that, but I think I'm up for one fairly soon. It does hurt a little bit, makes it sore for a couple of days, but my wife complains like you. She's sore for like a week after hers. Abby Robinson says, Think Noodles, have you ever said a bad word on YouTube or just off camera? And Cookie Monster says he says lots of bad words off camera. Well, I think I've said a bad word or two on YouTube, but I censored it out and I do my best. And you know what's funny? Although Cookie Monster knows me very, very well, I find that doing what I do and having a YouTube channel that's family friendly with you guys and doing this all day, I say very, very few bad words nowadays. It's just sort of changed the way I speak normally, and I watch what I say a lot better in real life and off camera. Meowface says, how long have you and your wife been together in the Storm's hut? Says like 7 years or something. Actually, that's about half the amount of time we've been together. We've actually been together for almost 13 years. Sadie Baker asks, do you have to go to college to work for machinima? I think that's what that says. And there are two ways. I mean, if you want to work for machinima, as in working as a representative for machinima, representing YouTubers on their sales staff or whatever, probably. I don't know. That's up to them whether they want someone with a college degree or not, or whether you are applying to work for them against someone with a college degree. The person with a college degree might have a better chance in that way. Now, if you're talking about working for machinima as a YouTuber in their network, absolutely not. You do not have to have any schooling whatsoever to be a part of their network. Dorindo D asks, how old are you? Well, I think it's on my website. Yeah, thinknoodles.me, but I am 36 years old. Agent Barks asks, in your school, did they make you memorize the periodic table? And if so, do you still remember them? Yes, they did. And yes, I do remember the symbols for almost all of the elements. MBC Plays MC says, my dad said the old computers used to have just green writing. What would you do with it? Would people like, OMG, I just wrote a U on a screen? Well, kind of, yes. Your dad is right. It used to be just green writing or gray writing, or depending on the color of your monochrome display, it was just a single color. People had, there were games that, I found fun. One was called Snipes, and it would draw sort of a map on your screen in the window made out of text characters like the brackets and equal signs and a plus sign and the @ symbol, and you used your arrow keys to move around this little text-based thing and run away from the snipes or kill the snipes, and it was very a very basic game, but they people did figure out ways to make games with text only. But yeah, it was very primitive by today's standards. Kylie Tim asks, what was your number in baseball? Mine is 11. I have to think back, and I want to say my number was 9. I can't remember if that is the case, but I'm pretty sure it was. Kyle versus Gaming says, everybody like this. Can you please play Disney Infinity because it is my favorite game? Noodle on. Well, I haven't had a chance to play it, but I will say that in the last few videos I've watched on YouTube, I've noticed they've added like a superheroes Marvel thing to it, and I've gotten a lot of the ads, and it looks pretty cool. And in the beginning of the ad, I don't know if you guys have seen it, but in the beginning of the ad, they're carrying blocks, almost like a Minecraft, and I thought it was pretty cool. Sarah Doherty says, dear Think, me and my family are moving, and my mom keeps reminding me to make friends, and I'm a really shy person. I know there's a lot of kids my age that live on the street too. What should I do? I've never been on Ask Think, and I'd appreciate if you answer this for me. Well, that's very similar to me. I was older, so it was probably harder for me to make friends because everyone had been friends with everyone for so long. But when I moved back to California, I was starting 11th grade, and it was during the summer. And we moved to a new house, and it was the same sort of thing. There were kids on the block that were around my age. And, I just kind of went outside. And obviously this was, it wasn't pre-internet, but pretty close to it. So there weren't a lot of, if you wanted to go play games with someone, you went over to their house and and got on their an N64 and we played games together in their room. So there was some of that, video games playing together, and also playing sports outside with each other. Not like real sports. It was just, there's a basketball hoop on so-and-so's house, and you'd kind of just dribble your basketball down the street and hope that when you dribble past, they're like, hey, you want to play? Like that. And then I got to make some really good friends doing that. Nicole M says, dear Think, what is your favorite season and why? Well, it's funny, it changes. During the winter, obviously, my favorite season is spring because it ends winter. And, by the end, when it's fall, I love winter because I want winter to come. But by the end of it, I'm like, okay, I'm tired of it being cold. Let's get to spring. And then when the summer gets really hot, then I really like fall. So I couldn't really say. It just depends on what season we're in that determines what my favorite season is. Dennis Lee says, hey Thing, my question is, have you ever met famous Minecraft players like Sky Does Minecraft and Captain Sparkles in Minecon, and did they notice you? If they did, how did you feel? Noodle on. Well, no, neither of those two at Minecon. Although I did meet a famous Minecrafter, and it was Dan from the Diamond Minecart. He and his wife Gemma found me and my wife. We were just wandering through. I mean, not really wandering through, just kind of like trying to get through, because there were a ton of people in this room. It was very, very crowded, and he spotted me, I guess, from far away, and he came and introduced himself, and everything was amazing. I was like, oh, wow, you know, and he was really nice, and Gemma was really, really nice. They're both very gracious. And but as far as Sky Does Minecraft and Captain Sparkles, they were very heavily featured in Minecon, and I've never recorded with them or anything like that. So they don't know me at all, and they were pretty busy guys, so I did not meet them. Nicole Block says, do you think, why do you put the number and the episode number for Ask Think, but you put ep and the number for other episodic videos? You know what? I have no idea. I never even noticed that. Happy Sticky asks, do you have an I Heart New York shirt? No, I don't. Oh, man. Mostly tourists wear those. MC Ben's Angry Mob says, hey Thing, what part are you currently at in Pokemon Leaf Green? Nowhere. When I was playing it and I started playing it, someone sent me an email through my contact form and said, hey, you shouldn't be playing Leaf Green. You should be playing something like Black or White 2. Because those are more recent and more similar to Pixelmon. So that's what I did. So I'm playing Black 2. Mia Crow says, hey Thing, since you're not doing the April monthly mailbag, will you do April mail in the May monthly mailbag? Sincerely, the obsessed with Minecraft girl. Yeah, I'm going to do something like that. I may actually do 2 this month, separated by 2 or 3 weeks. Annie Marshmallow says, hey Thing, I heard a lot of people who live in New York usually just take a cab or a subway and don't have a driver's license. Do you have a driver's license? Yes, I do. And as you guys probably found out in Survival 100, after you know who said I wasn't a very good driver, that I do have a driver's license. 1999 Blue asks, have you ever thought of changing your intro? Sometimes. Not really, though. It's just classic, and it doesn't... It's not Minecraft specific, which I like. It's just, you know, my logo and all that stuff. I really do like it, and it's just a classic. No, I really haven't thought much about it. 7 points. IX2X54 says, hey Thing, when you lived in Indonesia, did you have orangutans in the city area you lived in? Well, no, I lived in Jakarta, which is a pretty big city. It's actually a really, really big city. And there were no orangutans there. Now, that said, I do remember going to the safari park, and the way that they deal with animals there, they let you do stuff or get near the animals much more than you would imagine, like in a zoo in the US. And I remember we had gone to the orangutan's cage, and they were bringing the orangutan, one of them, to be, I guess, posed for pictures. And we were standing there, and the guy had the orangutan. He told me to lead the orangutan to it, and the orangutan put his hands on my shoulders. And, you know, I mean, I was still a little kid. I was never very big, especially when I lived there. But the orangutan was shorter than me, so I thought, you know, it's just a monkey. He's going to put his hands on me. It's going to be, you know, whatever. But my goodness, his arms were heavy. I couldn't believe it. But yeah, I led him on over. It was really, really cool. Sarah Rodriguez asks, how did you propose to your wife? And yes, I've answered this before, but I figured it's been a long time. And the way I proposed to her is, well, we kind of know a few people in the Dave Matthews Band. and they're our favorite band, and I proposed to her during a concert. We were on the side of the stage, but people couldn't see us, but we were watching the show, and during one of our favorite songs, while being up there, I proposed to her. Silly Sisters 45 asks, do you watch Once Upon a Time? Why, yes, I do. No Sanim Mingilino, which I just realized is that first word is Minecon spelled backwards, but it says, hey, Think. It's me, Daniel. I made your first t-shirt, but I was wondering, will you still need my ideas or will you just use Inkbite? Of course, I love all of your guys' ideas. I read your comments all the time. I read your tweets all the time. So keep the ideas for everything coming. Nick Corby says, hey, Think, I am a brony, and I was wondering if you were one too. Noodle on. No, I'm not, but I know that some of you guys are bronies, actually quite a few of you probably, and I know that eventually I'm going to have to do the Mine Little Pony mod in Thinks Lab. NYSF01 says, what's your favorite cereal? I'm a big fan. I want to surprise my sister. Well, you know, my favorite non-sweet cereal actually might be my favorite is Crispix, which is kind of weird, right, guys? Because not a sweet cereal. But I do like Lucky Charms as well. Jorge Torres asks, Think, are you excited about Star Wars Episode 7? Well, seeing as yesterday was Star Wars Day, yes, I am. And even Kopi is. Check out this picture. Anwar Mian says, since you're around the age of 30, do you know a band from the 60s called the Beatles? They are my favorite band and I love their songs. Well, of course, who doesn't know the Beatles? But I'm pretty impressed that someone your age, and I'm just assuming that you're quite a bit younger than me, loves the Beatles and that they're your favorite band. Widgie6 asks, have you ever sang to your wife? And of course, I put this after a Beatles question because I think I sing just as well as Paul McCartney. Not really, but I've tried, but she usually just tells me to be quiet. Chuck Boy MC asks, did you ever eat crocodile meat? I've eaten yes, I have eaten crocodile meat. I just realized I have eaten it. I ate it in Kenya. The Crazy Cupcake asks, can you try to give us your whole morning routine without stuttering or saying Okay, I wake up in the morning feeling like no, wait, that's not it. I wake up in the morning, feed Kopi, then make coffee. Then I get dressed and wait for my wife to get all of her stuff together. Then we take the elevator down and go outside and I walk Kopi and she gets in the car and drives to work. And then I come back up with Kopi and turn on my computer and check the tweets that I've missed and check some comments on my channel, things like that. Then I eat breakfast and then I start figuring out what I'm going to record for the day. Brooke Tucker says, if you were forced to move to a new state, would it be A, somewhere hot like Cali, B, somewhere cold like Alaska, C, somewhere mild/temperate like Ohio? Well, California is not necessarily always hot. It's always sunny, but not always hot because, you know, there's not a lot of humidity there. And if I had to move to a new state, I think I would choose A. I would love to live in California again. Jose Perez says, what types of shoes do you mostly wear? Converse, Vans, Jordans, or dressing shoes, etc.? Well, considering I'm an old man, I wear dress shoes somewhat. I guess you would call them loafers, maybe? I don't know. They're from Kolhan. QWERTY66525 asks, would you ever volunteer to be sawed in half by a magician? Of course, I've always wanted to be a volunteer on a magician show. Club Penguin Fan asks, think people are rude in New York? No, they're not. It's just a reputation that I don't know where it was, I guess, invented, this reputation. But no, New Yorkers are incredibly friendly. Peter Kai asks, have you ever watched shows that children watch today? Not that much. I mean, I'm not sure what shows children watch today anyway. I know that I've really never watched Pokemon ever. I've never watched an episode or the movie. But No, I don't really think I have. Jamie Egan asks, what are your parents like? Are they strict, really nice, or just chill? Noodle on. Well, if you look back, and I'll link it in the description, I did an Ask Think. It was a short one with my dad. And you may be able to tell my dad, or actually I am a lot like my dad. Zach Mayo says, hi, Think. I was just wondering, since your name is Justin, and I saw in one of your videos you wore rainbow looms, are you Justin from Justin's Toys? Please put this on Ask Think. I really want to know. No, I am not. All of those rainbow loom bracelets that you guys see me wear in my videos are the ones made by you guys. Vibrate 23 asks, Think, have you ever gone in a porta potty? Yes, a lot of times at concerts, that's really the only option. So I have used them and held my nose the entire time. Poppet Lovely Club Penguin says, Think, your wife watches Grey's Anatomy, right? Does she respond to the doctor's questions even if they don't hear her? And does she get amazed when they do hard operations? I know I am. No, she doesn't respond to their questions, but she is critical when they say things that aren't medically true, or they do things that aren't medically correct and things like that. She's always correcting them. Parker Lego Master says, Think, what would the one thing you would bring if you were going to a deserted island? A bowl of noodles. B, duct tape. C, 0 things. P.S. I got the idea from Mythbusters. Well, I saw that Mythbusters episode too, and of course, I would definitely have to bring the duct tape. Alex Lopez asks, do you get a gift from YouTube when you hit 1 million subs? Yes, you do. As you guys know, I got that little backpack and the silver play button, which I'm looking at right now. And when you get 1 million, you get a gold play button. H4X1 says, hey, Think, here's my question. What kind of other games do you play? I mean, the ones you don't make videos of. Well, on my iPhone, I play the Club Penguin app almost every day to get coins. But I also play the Cookie Clicker app on my iPhone. I think I'm up to... let me check here. Let's see what my base rate is without any interaction. So here it is, Cookie Clickers. Let's see. So right now I'm earning 315,048,568.7 cookies per second without me clicking anything. So yeah, I'm kind of addicted to that game. Fake Cupcakes asks, Think, have you ever thought about buying a karaoke machine and making a karaoke series where you have to sing all of our favorite songs? No, because I can't sing at all. But that said, I am really looking forward to my birthday because I've already told everyone that we're going to rent a karaoke room. They have these karaoke places here in New York where you can rent a private room for, a couple of hours, and we're all going to get together and sing songs, and everyone has to sing. Silly Sisters 45 asks, have you ever celebrated Kopi's birthday? Yes, every year on November 5th. It's a huge thing. My wife makes a big deal about Kopi's birthday, and she gets all kinds of treats. She gets to go to Petco and pick out whatever she wants. She gets steak for dinner. It's an event. Widgie6 asks, if you take Kopi to a dog spa, which one? One of my family members were in New York City this week, and they both went to one, and my family members got covered in dog slobber with love. No, we really don't. I wash her myself, so we don't really have a need to take her to a dog spa. And since I am home all day, she doesn't really need any social interaction with other people or anything like that. She's totally fine to stay home. Real Gaming X asks, has anyone ever recognized you when you were walking Kopi in New York? Nope, not yet. Calissa Diamonds asks, what other tricks does Kopi know besides bowing? Well, she can sit, she can shake, and she can shake with her other paw, and she can lay down, and I guess she can roll over as well and give you her belly. S. White asks, I saw a guy on Club Penguin with an inappropriate name. He was also saying inappropriate things, and I tried to report him, but it didn't work. What should I do? Well, when you click that report button, it's not instantaneous. It just sends a report to the moderators, and then they go and check the chat and the name, and then they'll take care of it. So I bet it did work. It's just not instant. That Ballet Girl says, what time do you get on Club Penguin for Thing Thursdays? Well, it depends, but usually it's at 3 a.m. Penguin time. 1999 Blue asks, are you excited for the future party on Club Penguin? Yes, I am. I mean, the Puffle party just ended, but as soon as the most recent party ended, I'm always excited for the next one. Michael Kachin says, hi, Think, happy 100th Ask Think. My question is, when you log into Club Penguin and the servers and stuff, each server has one green bar or more. So how many penguins does one bar represent? I think that it goes to, I think that one bar represents more than 50 penguins, but less than 100. So if you were on a server that had 0 bars, it would be less than 50 penguins total in the server. And then on one bar, it'd be up to 100 penguins, 2 bars, up to 150, 3 bars, 200, etc., etc. I think, I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's about that. Gymnastics Girl races, Mr. Noodles. Has Kopi ever gotten into food when you're gone? My dog ate our entire package of Oreo birthday cake cookies. I barely even got to try one. We can't leave anything out. Well, I hope your dog is okay. But yeah, she gets into stuff, not when we're not home, because we know better than to leave food out, but also she just sleeps when we're not here. But I remember one time we were having dinner at someone's house, and Kopi was there, and we had prime rib, and you know, prime rib you cut off of sort of like ribs, you know, you cut the meat off, and they left the ribs in their dinette that while we were eating in the dining room, and they left the ribs there after the meat had been cut off. And Kopi watched us all eat and everything, and then we finished eating, and we weren't paying attention, and we were like, where's Kopi? We haven't seen her in a while. And come to find out, she had gone into the dinette, gotten on the table, pulled the ribs down, and was gnawing on them underneath the table. Mr. Sandman 98 asks, can you list your top 10 fans in your opinion? Well, I couldn't, because everyone tells me they're my #1 fan. Jack McGurn asks, do you have Clash of Clans? So I've seen this question a ton, and it's becoming more and more common. And I did an interview last week, and the interviewer's son was a big fan and asked me the same question and said that all of his friends play it back in England. And I was like, okay, so they gave me a piece of paper, and I checked it out. I did download the app yesterday. I haven't really played with it yet, but I know that you guys love it, and it's becoming super, super popular. Michael Aaron asks, since you played Metroid before, how did you react when you found out that Samus was a girl? Wow, someone who even knows what Metroid is. Pretty impressive. Well, I do remember playing the original game on NES. And the greatest part, well, I guess the way I found out that Samus was a girl was not because I beat it, because what happens when you beat the original, Samus sort of takes off her suit or her helmet, and you find out she's a girl. But I used a cheat code, and what I loved was that the cheat code had my name in it. Justin Bailey will sort of beat the game for you, give you a bunch of missiles and all this cool stuff, like endgame stuff. And I loved that my name was part of the code. Marley53113 on CB says, do you think the only reason most people watch Thinks Lab is to get a minion? I watch because it's a great series and keep up the good work. No, I do think that's one of the reasons that people maybe click the like button and leave a comment. But I think people watch it because I do a good job, I hope. I really, really, really work hard on those videos. A lot of planning and acting and editing go into those videos. You guys have no idea. Gaming Freaks asks, was the McDonald's in your mod review randomly spawn? No, for some reason, the version of McDonald's that I had wouldn't spawn any of the restaurants. So I built that hamburger-shaped or cheeseburger-shaped restaurant myself. Curious Confused asks, is Kevin your evil guy in Thinks Lab? Kind of. He's not really evil. He's just bad. No, I mean, he means well, but he's just mischievous and kind of trolly, but he's definitely not evil. Leah Soloway asks, do you have to become a member to be the game maker? And she's referring to Game Maker on the core games. And no, you don't have to be a member in order to become the Game Maker, but it makes the chance of you getting it much more likely. Lego Fan Kid 713 asks how much time you spend on editing ThinkSlab. Depends on the video. Some of them, minimum an hour of continuous editing. I have spent up to 3 or 4 hours on editing some of them. Shizuki Natsumi asks, try playing Minecraft horror maps. Your vids are awesome. Well, you guys really liked the most recent ThinkSlab with Herobrine in it, and it was kind of a horror-based thing. So I'm definitely thinking about that in the future. Harrison Fletcher Brook says, oh, hi, Think. On the most recent ThinkSlab, the Blocky Pets thingamabah, was it you who did the voice of the grass block thing at the very beginning? And yes, it was me. Mr. Sandman98 says, in Ask Think episode number 99, I think, in the background, when you place slabs of sandstone on top of each other, it turns into something like stone. Why? It was just a bug in that snapshot. Explosive Cheese Puff says, you know you like the diamond minecart? Then why don't you play with him? I actually have. If you guys look back at my dodgeball video from ages ago, I played with him. Ryan Williams asks, what is your favorite enchant on a sword, bow, or tool? Well, obviously sharpness is my favorite on a sword, and I would say infinity on a bow. But if I had to choose overall between any enchantment on any handheld item, or actually any enchantment at all, even compared to something I would put on my armor or fishing rod or anything, the most useful and my favorite enchantment is Fortune. So the next few questions are asking about episode 100 on survival. And yes, it took me a long time to come out with it, guys. And I'm sorry about that, but I wanted to finish the building and also find a time for my special guest, which you guys suggested and stuff. And it was actually her idea, or she said, when am I going to make my debut? And I was like, I have the perfect video for you to make your debut on my channel. So that was part of it. But as far as how I played with her, I opened to LAN, and that was a whole mess too. And I'm going to be doing some research into that as far as what happened with the dogs, because we had to revert to a previous version of the snapshot all the way to 14W6 in order for us to see each other's skins, which was important for the video. We were both looking as Steves in the current snapshot. So I'm going to look into that. But anyway, no, we were not talking on a Skype call. She was sitting right beside me over here. Basically, she was right next to me on her laptop, and it was a bit too close for the mic. She was using my old blue snowball mic, and I was using my current mic. So you guys, her mic kept picking up my voice. So if we talked at the same time, you guys might have heard an echo, and it was really hard to edit all that out as best I could. But yeah, no, she was right next to me. There was no Skype call or anything. Brooke Tucker says, no, you take fall damage in the core games now. Why you do this? Well, we are updating it because we find that people will just jump off of things and it's not that realistic. So what we've done is just take a little bit of fall damage. I think it's a heart or half a heart. We had it cranked up too far. But what happens is you jump off and you take a little bit of fall damage, but you also, I think, get slowness and nausea because it sort of breaks your legs for a variable period of time, depending on how far you drop. Turtleton Plays CP asks, what is your favorite Minecraft series you are doing now, like Hexit or ThinkSlab? My favorite is ThinkSlab because it allows me to be so creative. I can choose any mod, do anything with it. And with editing, I can make it even more epic. So it's really, really fun. And it's challenging to make the videos. Sheena1234ization asks, are you ever going to do another modded Let's Play? Of course I will. Jesse is a messy ass. In your doggy talents video, when you watch TV, is that a mod or your magical editing? That was editing. I edited in a couple of, one was a previous video that I made, the Lucky Blocks video, and then I made that other one and stuck it inside that little TV. Jerome Villanueva asks, which one so far was your favorite mod to use during Things Lab? Wow. Let me think about this. You know what it was? It was the Lucky Blocks mod. It was really, really fun because I didn't know what was going to happen next. In most of the mods, I kind of know what's going to happen. I mean, I'll click something like the natural disasters mod. I'm going to click a meteor. I know that a meteor is going to come. I don't know what it's going to be made of or how big it's going to be, but I kind of know. But with the Lucky Blocks mod, no idea what was coming next when I was breaking that block. Alex Gregory asked, question about mod reviews. Do you look at suggested mods to see if they are worth a review or guess based on the name? I look at all your suggested mods. I keep a little sticky note. Whenever you guys suggest something, I copy it into the sticky note. And then when I go to do Things Lab, I'm like, oh, let me see that one. And I look at it and go, oh, this is a pretty good one. Or maybe I'll wait on that one. And so I have a long list of the ones you guys have suggested. And I use your suggestions in every episode. Ali Pro9 asks, do a Skyblock series, please. I've heard that that's sort of a rite of passage for a YouTuber. And you're right, I do need to do one. I see that someone had updated it to a more recent version, a 1.8 version, which makes it a little bit more interesting because you can get to the end and you can also summon the Wither and things like that. So I'm considering it. Retzam here MC asks, I don't think anybody actually stole the Thinknoodles username. There's no skin for the name. Look it up. Well, it has something to do with capitalization. I actually have Mark IRL on Skype, and I've talked to him about this before and asked if I could get that username. And he assured me that it was taken and it was a premium account, so they couldn't give it to me. Jackie Liu asks, what would you do if Kevin told you he was testing nukes in the lab? OMG, I would run. Robert Del Real asks, have you ever gotten banned from a Minecraft server? And you guys are probably thinking, you know the answer to this. Of course not. Wrong. I actually have been banned from a Minecraft server, but only for like 5 minutes or something. When I was, playing on the Hive quite a bit, Better Sprint is an allowed mod on the Hive. And so it's in my Minecraft profile. And I was playing with someone and they said, I don't have premium on the Hive. Can we play on MCSG? And I said, okay, that's fine. So I went to join, and as soon as I joined, it came up a message that says, you have been banned for 5 minutes using Better Sprint mod. So yes, technically I have. Animal Jam Dude 001 says, hey, in your latest Thinks Labs videos with Herobrine in it, how did you get Kevin the minion to place blocks? Well, he didn't. What I used was a camera mod to sit in the corner and watch Kevin, and I stood Kevin there, and then right outside the camera frame, I'm floating above in creative mode, and it was actually me placing the blocks, but it looks like Kevin did it. Mario Hernandez asks, what did you think of Minecraft in the starting/first video? Well, when I first played it, I was like, wow, that was really fun. I don't know anything about this game, but I'd love to learn. And then I posted the video because I thought it was funny, and the comments I got for about, 3 or 4 days after I got it, I was like, wow, so I guess I'm not going to do Minecraft on my channel because people really hated it, that I wasn't very good at it. And really, honestly, not kidding, I was actually considering maybe I shouldn't do Minecraft. I'm just going to stick to Pop Tropica and Club Penguin. Forget Minecraft. People really don't like that video. But for some reason, and you guys who play Minecraft, you know the feeling. For some reason, I couldn't keep my hands off of it. And now here we are. Sam Buck asks, who inspired you to play Minecraft? You guys did. I would not have played Minecraft if you guys hadn't constantly suggested it over a long period of time. You guys were asking, and I kept saying, I will. And I eventually did for my 20,000 subscribers because I wanted to do it for you guys. The next couple of people refer to the Let's Play download, and I want to give you guys a little bit of information about it. First of all, if you download from the video, that's the world with my builds all in it. You're gonna need to open that in 1.8 snapshot, one of the developmental snapshots. You're gonna have to do that, or else all of the inventory, if you open it in 1.7, all the inventory in both my hand and all the chests, even the ender chest, is going to be gone. So that's one thing. Now, the second thing is for the seed, it says pre 1.7 terrain. So if you wanted to generate the world and start your own Let's Play from my seed or play around in the world empty, you do have to open it in 1.6 first, explore a little bit, and then you can go into 1.7 or 1.8 and play around, and you'll be in the same version of the world that I'm in. Mag Monk 100 says, hey, Think, when you made Kevin summons Herobrine on Think Lab, did you have to respawn and rename all the minions again after they turned into Herobrine villagers? And if so, how long did it take Noodle on? No. I always make backups before I do the Thinks Lab recordings. I name the minion, get everything ready as of the beginning of that video, and then I back it up, and then I do the video, and then the next time I do the next video, I go back to the backup and I say, okay, there's the named minion from last week, and I let them run away, and then I name the new one. Agent Barks asks, in your Hunger Games 102, how come you could select your district? Because whenever I go on the core games, it doesn't bring up that selector. Is that like an authority thing only you have? No, it is for anyone who donates to the core. If you want to be able to select your own district, so if you and a friend are playing and you wanted to be on the same district and not put into a random one, you would have to be members. The Jose123 asks, Think, will you finish the house in Hexit yet? Well, funny you should mention that. I was playing around yesterday. I wasn't recording, doing a little bit of building off camera in Hexit, and it is coming along. I wanted to get this thing built for you. Pretty much the whole front end of it is built. Actually it is. The whole front side of the building is built. It's going to be 3 stories, it turns out. I thought it was only going to be 2, but it is going to be 3. But yeah, no, I am building it up for you guys. And it's not really taking that long. It's going a lot faster than my survival build because I have the cloud boots that I can jump a lot higher, and I have I'm using the Hexit features finally. And I have the long shoot and things like that can pull me up to things and make it a lot easier than having to pillar up all the time. The next person asks, will you start new Let's Plays or play new games? Of course, I'm always going to be starting a new series, and there is going to be a new series starting this week, guys. It is a huge week for my channel with obviously episode 100 of Survival, episode 100 of Ask Think, and a new series. This is crazy. The Wolfie Grace asks, wow, you have to name and feed all your rats. Similar here in Arizona with scorpions. We have Joe, Sylvester, Tim, Harry, and even little Tommy. We try to avoid Tommy, though. He's dangerous. He stung me last month, and I had to be placed in a hospital for a few days. I'm fine now, though. Well, I'm glad you're okay. And funny you should mention the rats. So this morning, when I walked Kopi outside, there's this small little, I guess, dumpster that's down the street from us. Kopi was walking along, and I saw the dumpster, and I saw a rat run out from under it and into a plastic bag that had food in it in the street. And Kopi saw it too, and I was like, oh man, this is funny. So because we were the only ones out there. I mean, it was 4:30 in the morning, so I kind of like walked toward the bag and stomped my feet, and the rat ran out. And I'm sure I've told you guys, Kopi loves squirrels, and apparently rats look a lot like squirrels to dogs. I mean, honestly, let's face it, especially in New York City, squirrels are just rats with fluffy tails. They're disgusting. So, I mean, to Kopi, that looked like a squirrel with no hair on its tail, and she wanted it so bad, and it was scurrying around the street and stuff. And I was like, Kopi, get it, get it, get it! Oh man, it was so funny. Pink Stardust 89261 asks, if you had one last meal, what would it be? And Deshandre Williams and Galaxy the Umbrine answer correctly, noodles. Color asks, which eye do you open first when you wake up? Okay, I've never ever thought about this. I think I open them both at the same time, but I have no idea. Mr. Trevor MC asks, best personality tester question. What do you do if someone farted in a very quiet room like a library? I laugh uncontrollably. Livy MC asks, a man, let's call him Bob, is made of noodles. Do you A, eat him, B, run around yelling noodle monster, or C, smile and walk to the nearest phone box and call 999-911 for you Americans? Well, first of all, there are hardly any phone booths anywhere, even in New York. I was outside with Kopi the other day, and it was sunny, but the sun was at an angle, and I was waiting for my wife to come out of the store, and I found a good use for phone booths, because usually there's no use for them at all. Shade for the dog. There was actually a use for a phone booth. I even told her, I was like, look, I found a use for a phone booth. Shade for Kopi. But anyway, I would be running around yelling a noodle monster. Rocking Yaz asks, if you died tomorrow, what would you do today? A, stay on the computer and say goodbye to your fans. B, spend time with your wife and Kopi on your last day. C, travel somewhere you've always wanted to travel. Or D, eat noodles all day. Gosh, I could not choose between the first. Actually, I couldn't choose between all four of them. I would try to do all four at once. Like, I'd bring my phone so I could say goodbye to you guys while I was traveling somewhere with my wife and Kopi while we had noodles. Lou Desas, in the tune of We Are the Champions Queen, says, we are the Noodlers Noodle Bowl, and we'll keep on noodling till the end. Bum, bum, bum. We are the Noodlers. We are the Noodlers. No time for dying, 'cause we are the Noodlers of the world. Awesome. Pinky Flamingo asks, can you describe what you looked like in the Stone Age? Guys, I am not that old. Real Gaming X asks, do you have an evil twin that has a YouTube account and starts their videos with, hey everyone, it's your enemy, forget noodles? No. And even if I did, because it would have to be opposites, it would probably be, hey no one, it's your enemy, forget noodles. Carter Lennon asks, what would you do if Kevin came to your house and started singing Noodle Monster, oh Noodle Monster? A, move to a new house. B, tell Kopi to sick him. C, kick him. Or D, ignore him and hide your noodles from him. I would ignore him and hide things, not just my noodles, probably everything from him. Lou Desas asks, what does JK stand for? Did you say just kidding? That's wrong. Gotta get your noodles right for next time. The real answer is Chicken Nugget. The K is silent. Oh, nice. The Cookie Monster says, OMG, has it been 99 questions already? When is this going to end? Yes, it's almost over, guys. And the last question is from WWE versus WWF CP. And it says, Think Noodles, for the outro, can you talk like you did in Ask Think number 1? I had to go back to Ask Think number 1 to figure out how I talked. And I'm going to try, but I don't know if I can do this. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Ask Think and that you will like this series that I'm starting in the future. Please leave any questions that you would like me to answer in the comments below so I can have something to answer next week. I'll see you guys again soon. Thanks for watching. And of course, noodle on. Although I said think noodles out at the end. I don't know what I was thinking in the last one. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Ask Think. Don't forget to leave your question in the comments below so I can have something to answer next week. I'll see you guys again soon. Thanks for watching. And of course, noodle on.